All right, so the Oklahoma Sooners are taking on the UCF Knights this Saturday in Norman, Oklahoma. And this is one that Oklahoma fans have been excited about because, well, UCF is not a team that you guys play all that much. There is no previous matchups between UCF and Oklahoma, but Oklahoma has been the more dominant program. However, UCF will claim and will tell you they have won a national championship more recently than Oklahoma. Yeah, you heard me right. They actually claimed that undefeated year, which maybe they got something to the point. But you know what? If you weren't picked as the national championship by winning it all, you technically didn't win the national championship. But guys, in the first ever matchup between Oklahoma and UCF, I want to hear what y'all's thoughts are. So before we dive into the matchup, guys, I need you to do the housekeeping. So go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you jump down in the comments below and let me know what y'all's thoughts are. So, okay, let's talk about it. Oklahoma, UCF, first ever matchup between the two schools. There's a lot of headlines here. Regardless whether you want to look at it, Jeff Lebby, former offensive coordinator at UCF, before Malzahn got hired on at UCF, you would have found out that fans, players, they wanted Jeff Lebby as their head coach. No, UCF goes for the former Auburn Tigers head coach, Gus Malzahn. Additionally, Dillon Gabriel, the former quarterback at UCF. Hey, he's not liked this week. UCF fans, they're going to tell you on the message boards, they don't like Dillon Gabriel. Hey, you know what? That's more fire in the tank for Oklahoma. Additionally, it's the first ever matchup, right? So both of these teams want to get out on top. Now, UCF on the recruiting trail, they got Stacey Gage. Regardless how you want to look at it, whether Oklahoma backed off, UCF got Stacey Gage, the 4-star running back. Additionally, they got the 4-star defensive lineman, Derek LeBlanc, through the transfer portal. So, a couple headlines there on the recruiting trail, starred by the 4-star offensive lineman, Eddie Pierre-Louis, right? This has been a Oklahoma-UCF battle. He's going to be at this game. So, really, I think both teams can make a statement here in his recruitment. Hey, you know what? If UCF wins this game, maybe they can come out on top there. Now, probably not likely that UCF wins this game, but it's going to be something that I think everybody's going to be watching, right? They're going to be watching what kind of recruiting implications can this be. This is UCF's first year in the Big 12, and I think there's a lot of hope for UCF that they're going to be one of the top teams in this conference now that Oklahoma and Texas are losing. But here's the deal. UCF started the season hot, 3-0. They beat Kent State, they beat Boise State, they beat Villanova, but then they come into the conference play and lose 3 straight games. You lose to Kansas State 44-31, Baylor 36-35 in a game that you were up and you should have won, and then you get absolutely mollywopped by Kansas 51-22, where if I have heard this correctly, Kansas ran for 399 yards in that game. Devin Neal just had himself an absolute day. And you got beat by a quarterback in Jason Bean, who's, well, listen, he's not the 4-star starter that everybody sees at most schools. So, UCF, they've got some problems. And Oklahoma, they're coming into this game off an emotional, big-time win against the Texas Longhorns. You've had a bye week. You've had an opportunity to get healthy. And although you've lost your star wide receiver in Andre Anthony, and you've lost McCade Matower for a couple games, listen, Oklahoma fans are coming in here. They're expecting OU to win. They're expecting OU to win big. And I think Oklahoma fans are, after what they saw Kansas do to UCF last week, they're expecting the run game to be good for OU. So, let's dive into it. And we're going to start with my keys to the game for Oklahoma. And we got to start off with the run game because I just said it. Kansas got 399 yards in the run game against UCF. And you're telling me that Kansas might have a better run game than Oklahoma? I mean, Devin Neal is not a scrub, but here's the deal. Oklahoma has not had a run game that has been solidly established this season. Tawi Walker has been your best back. It's time to see Tawi Walker out there for the majority of those snaps, Jeff Lebby. And you know what? We need to see more Gavin Sawchuk. And if Gavin Sawchuk and Javonte Barnes are not ready to go, I want to see Dalen Smothers. He is a true freshman running back. And yes, I know he can make mistakes because he's a true freshman. I don't care. The times he has been in there, he's looked good. And Oklahoma needs as much help as they can get throughout this season in that run game, especially if you're going to have to play Texas in the Big 12 championship. You want to give Texas a different look, something that they haven't seen yet. And by figuring out this run game, that might be just exactly how you do it. So for key number one, Oklahoma has to establish the run game in this game. This is the game where if there's any game on your schedule to get it figured out, it's this one, because the defense on the rushing side of the ball, it's not very good for UCF. So then I want to see the secondary against Oklahoma take advantage of Plumlee, right? So we know what this Oklahoma defense is all about this year. We know what the secondary is all about. I would believe I'm recording this on a Thursday night. I was listening to the JP and Trav show on the way home from the Edmond Santa Fe Union game, watching a couple of OU targets. Devin Jordan, you had Josh Isosa, Bergen Kaisar, and including a Demarius Robinson, who I think could actually be pretty good. So we'll have to see exactly where he lands in 2025. But I'm on the way home and I'm listening to the JP and Trav show. Jeremiah Hall was on there today. If you guys haven't, you need to go check it out. But Travis said something about how there's 4 Oklahoma defenders with 2 or more picks this season. Gentry Williams with 3. You got Billy Bowman, Kendall Dolby, and I believe it was Key Lawrence, all with 2 interceptions. You want to see them take advantage of Plumlee's just poor management of the ball and taking care of it this year. When looking at his stats, guys, 41 of 61, 586 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions on 61 attempts, only 3 touchdowns. That's not very good. He's a completion percentage of 67.2%. And then if you see Timmy McClain, well, he's got 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on 97 attempts. So maybe Timmy McClain is a quarterback that might take care of the ball a little bit better. But if you see John Rice Plumlee, you want to see the secondary go out there and take care of business. You would expect they could probably get 2 or 3 picks in this game, because this is going to be the best defense that UCF has probably seen all season up to this point. And then additionally, for the Oklahoma Sooners, I want to see how exactly you replace McCade Matauer on that offensive line. So the offensive line has been doing their job this season. And quite frankly, they've been pretty good. Now, yes, they've been switching guys around. You got Troy Everett's been in there. Caden Green's been in there. Savion Bird's been taken out and put back in. I want to see who's going to step up in the place of an injured McCade Matauer and be able to continue to open up those holes for the running backs. Remember, one of the reasons why these running backs are struggling so much is they're not being patient and they're not waiting for those holes to open up. So I'm curious if the Oklahoma offensive line can create these holes. Maybe you get a different lineman in there that's just able to create gaps a little bit better. Maybe these running backs can spend a little bit more time, wait a little bit longer, wait an extra second, wait for that hole to occur. Maybe they can get that burst. So, I mean, it kind of bleeds into the run game for point number 1, but I want to see how you're going to replace McCade Matauer, because that's a big one. This is a really good offensive line for Oklahoma. They've done a good job at defending Dillon Gabriel this season. Dillon Gabriel only has 5 sacks on the season. He has 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So Dillon Gabriel playing at a Heisman level. So you want to be able to protect this guy. Now, as far as Oklahoma and UCF goes in terms of the matchup, it's not even close. And the ESPN analytics, they're going to tell you it's not really that close. So pulling it up here If you're listening to this on the podcast platforms, obviously you can't see it, so you'll just have to take my word for it. According to ESPN Analytics, they're giving Oklahoma a 94.1% chance to win this game over UCF, who's given the 5.9% chance. Oklahoma has the advantage with, the quarterback, really. When it comes to, I'm going to say they got the advantage in the wide receiver room just because they have a deep wide receiver room. But in terms of the running back room, UCF's got the clear advantage here. And I think that's going to be interesting to watch how Oklahoma is able to contain UCF's running game. UCF's got some backs. I just want people to realize this. They've got RJ Harvey on 89 carries for 511 yards, a 5.7 average, and 6 touchdowns. Additionally, they have Johnny Richardson for 53 carries, 441 yards at an 8.3 average for 1 touchdown. So I think you look at this game and you go, okay, John Rice Plumlee, one of the keys for him to be successful throughout this game and throughout the whole season is he's been able to use his feet. So one thing the defensive line has done well, they have contained the quarterback. You want to see them continue to do that, but also apply pressure, get those tackles for loss, and keep these running backs in the backfield, right? That's what you want to see. You want to see this defensive line for Oklahoma have a bounce back game because, in the Texas game, they gave up some yards. You want to see them be successful in stopping these running backs. So that's something that you're going to be looking for in this matchup. But kind of deviating back a little bit, looking at the team stats, UCF, Oklahoma. UCF's outgaining Oklahoma in total yards, 516 to 506. They have a pretty balanced attack, 270 through the air, 246 through the ground. Oklahoma's 341 through the air, 164 through the ground. Oklahoma only allowing 353.7 yards a game. UCF allowing 387.2. So at kickoff, it's going to be about 61 degrees. I believe we had Jaden Knowles come on the podcast and kind of talk about that as well. But you can see it here. And then the over-under for this game set at 67 and Oklahoma minus 17.5. So I think you could see Oklahoma probably win this game 52-17. So probably want to take the over, and you probably want to take the money line for Oklahoma because I just definitely think they're going to come out in this game. Bob Stoops and them have talked about it, and I believe Travis Davidson even put out a tweet just talking about how dominant Oklahoma has been in the post-Texas games, per se. And Bob Stoops talked about it in the pre-Texas games, but since the start of the 1999 season, the Sooners are 23-1 in games immediately following the Texas game. The only defeat came in 2014 from K-State at home in 31-30 game. In the 23 games, OU outscored its opponents by 587 points with an average of 25.5 points per game. So Oklahoma, they take care of business, and you would expect that they're going to continue to take care of business in this game. So 52-17, that's what I got. Oklahoma's going to come out here. They're going to try to dominate. They're going to look big. I know I saw a couple of you guys want to talk about Oklahoma shutting out UCF. I just don't see that happening, but I guess anything is possible. Maybe this defense is ready to come out. Maybe Danny Stutzman is going to give another heartfelt speech in that locker room. But guys, I really want to hear from you, and I want to hear what y'all's thoughts are around the Oklahoma Sooners and UCF. First time matchup between the two programs. It's in Norman, Oklahoma. You have UCF's first year in the Big 12 on a 3-game losing streak. You have headlines across the board. Eddie Pierre-Louis, who's going to win that commitment? Dillon Gabriel, matching up against his former teammate. Jeff Lebby, he didn't get the head coaching job at UCF. He's going to be, I feel like he's going to want to just bring the onslaught to UCF, right? He's going to want to show them what they missed out on. So guys, again, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Give me your score predictions. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe button.